Hello YouTube, Komodo Gaming here, playing some more Scrap Mechanic. Today we are back at the Moon Town. Now I've got a lot to show you guys today. I've been very busy. First thing you're probably going to notice is our new Moon Rover. Now this thing is more of a futuristic Moon Rover. I'll probably flash the picture up on screen that I was looking at. This thing is absolutely fantastic. It handles good. It's not too fast. I guess you could kick the motors up faster, but this thing's meant to do it all. Now what I think I might do with this vehicle is create some extra cabs. Like right now it's just in the flatbed, but maybe I'll create like a passenger cab and maybe, oh, even like a crane or something. I think this is going to be a vehicle that we can use for several different things. But right now I have it loaded down with some construction materials because we are still building on the town right now. But yeah, this town will be available to download. It does take mods, so be sure to back up your game first. I will have all of that in the description. But I think the first thing we're going to start out with is just go over this vehicle. I'm going to go ahead and hop out here. It handles fine. It goes over the terrain great. And back here, I only have the engine set at about, I believe, halfway, but definitely got a lot more power if you need it. But yeah, I've got these hatches up here. Let me go ahead and close these. These are using some of the mod parts, and they look absolutely fantastic. Back here, you've got a little hatch where you can open up. This is where your controllers are and your motors, so if you need to do any adjusting, it's going to be right here. Let's go ahead and close that. As you can see, there's plenty of construction material here in the back, but it's a pretty simple setup. This is not a complicated vehicle at all, even though it looks fantastic. The suspension is actually only one piece per wheel, which is really good because it helps the FPS, which I'm not having any issues around here, but just thinking about the future. But yeah, it all turns off the front wheel. I guess maybe you can make another version where you can have all the wheels turn, but I think the front will do for now, kind of for what this vehicle is meant for. But yeah, I expect to come out with some more cabs for this, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do the attachments. It might just be something where you'd have to weld the extra cabs on. Maybe I'll leave a gap, that way you can cut it on and off. I still don't have a good way into this thing. When I was building it, I wanted to have just roof hatches. I didn't want to do doors. The picture I was looking at didn't look like it had side doors. It just had these roof hatches. So I was like, let's just do it like that. But I didn't think about how tall it was and how short Scrap Mechanic's character is. So yeah, it's kind of is what it is, but still a fantastic vehicle. I think the next thing we're going to check out is going to be the power station that you guys wanted to see. You can see back there, that is the final thing we're going to look at. That is the observatory, and it is absolutely huge. I'll go over that building last. Alright, we finally have power in the base. I was debating on what I wanted to do for power. It was between nuclear power or solar power, and it just makes sense. The sun is right there. We might as well harness its power. Now, this thing can probably be a little bit bigger. I'm debating on maybe putting another section like across, so one here, one over here, and one towards this end. And you have these little towers, which I believe are like transmission towers. I was reading up on how solar plants work, and it seems like the rays would come down, hit the solar panel, and I think some of the rays actually reflect off these panels and hit these towers. Now, depending on the angle of the sun would depend on where those towers need to be and where these panels would need to be positioned. Now these are all on controllers. There's two sets of controllers there. You can adjust these however you want. There's a off switch over here, so say we just want to put these back in their original position. It does it like that. Looks cool. Just when you're adjusting these controllers, try to keep them all in sync, because if not, they're going to start colliding with each other. But it's definitely cool when they move here. But yeah, you can angle these however you want. I think these are on maybe a 45 and they're actually 45 on both, but you can adjust these around. Like I said, I believe I need to put these on a lift, that way I can get 3 more out here, because I think that would work out really good. That way we cover all angles of the sun. As far as the skybox, I think the sun pretty much stays in the same position. The earth is the only thing that actually moves. But yeah, this is really cool looking. This actually didn't take too long. But I do believe I'm going to need to expand this area, because this is probably not enough power to power this whole base. But yeah, definitely awesome area. Let's go check out the next thing. Before we move on to the next thing, this is something that needs to be pointed out, that I do have a flag at the base. Now, some people were saying that, well, you have a moon base, there's no way to represent your country, so yes, there is a flag here. I think it looks okay. I debated on putting a whole bunch of bearings in it and trying to make it wave, but I think on the moon, with the way the gravity is, I don't think the flags really wave. They pretty much stay in one position, so there's that. But anyways, on over here is our communications tower. Now, there's going to be two different communications towers. You've got the one for the local area or the planet, and then I'm going to have a satellite dish for communications back to Earth over there. I think I'm going to put that in the distance because that's probably going to be fairly big, so it'll have its own little building out, probably on one of those hills. But this communications tower is strictly for around the planet, so say if you're out in the rover or if you're in separate buildings, everybody can stay in touch with each other. It's actually kind of a cool looking tower. I really wish we could use these ladders. Like, I build these ladders and it looks like you can climb up it, but you really can't. I wish they would make some sort of block that would replace something like, instead of having to use stairs, you can use ladders. Of course, you always have the option for elevators, but that wouldn't make sense for a comms tower here, but definitely cool. And just kind of thinking of the details, this is something you guys said that we should definitely have here. So we are going to have a satellite dish next, but I just wanted to show you guys that. Now, we are kind of behind the main hub here. Last episode was the greenhouse over there, and then the medic bays in the main hub here. I'm still debating what I want to do with these living quarters over on this side. And as you can see, I've got a new section coming out this way, and we're going to build something here in the center. So I need you guys to comment below and tell me what needs to be in the center here. What's the next section that I need to build? But anyways, here is the big thing that I've been working on. Now, this is not complete. I have one more section I want to add to this thing, but I figured this needs to be a little bit of a separate building. And as you can see, let me try to back up where you can see the top of it here, because it's kind of hard to see from the inside. It is a observatory. Now, it doesn't look like your traditional observatory. It's actually a lot wider, but I kind of want to just change up the look because it's a mixture of an observatory and a little bit of a command center. I'll show you guys what I mean when I go inside. And on the right side, which hasn't been built, I want to have like a lab. So some people were suggesting maybe having some sort of laboratory with something about an alien crystal. I don't really know what's going on with that, but I'm going to go back through and read that comment again. And I think it's actually going to be on this right side. So I wanted to separate this building from the main building. That way we can break some of this up and kind of expand it out. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop in. Now, I haven't put an airlock on the front here. Somebody actually sent me an airlock that supposedly doesn't use any bearings. It uses thrusters. There's a little modded thruster. So I'm going to go check those out and see if I can put it on to this door, because I really need something that doesn't have bearings, because that's going to absolutely cripple this world if I have nothing but airlocks. But yeah, you walk in here. This is just a main little lobby area. To the right would be where the lab would start, or maybe even out the back. But in here is where the observatory is, so we're going to click into here. There we go. Go ahead and close that door. And here is the observatory. I love the way this building looks. I love the layered windows. Just how the whole thing came out. It just looks fantastic. Up there's where the actual telescope is. Now, this isn't your traditional telescope. This telescope doesn't run all the way down. A lot of pictures you see of inside of observatories, the telescope comes all the way down into it. And I don't know if that's just an old thing. Like, the way I picture observatories working now is you have the telescope up in the top, and we have a big monitor display up here. So that's what this is supposed to represent. Now, down here are some extra monitors. This is going to come in handy once we have the big comm satellite, because this would be if there's any issues, trouble inbound, this would be like the command center, and we'll report anything. And of course, if the big telescope site sees anything. Alright, on to controlling this thing. It's very simple. You just set your controllers. The left side is the telescope, the right side is the shell, or the turret, whatever you want to call it. So let's see, we're set at 60 here. Let's go to like, I don't know, 120 on this side. Actually, that's the telescope. Probably can't go that high. Let's go to about 75 over here. And let's rotate it. I don't know, let's rotate it pretty far. That way you can see it go here. So I believe we are ready to go. So we're going to hit this switch and this switch. There it goes. And you can see it adjusts. The telescope is moved up. This is probably the best way I could think of moving this thing because it's the most simple, and once you have that controller set, it's not going to move any. And this thing looks odd from up here. I don't know if there's anything I can fill that with. Most of the observatories that I've seen are hollow on the inside, so I think that's actually pretty good. Let's set those. Let's try a different angle here. Let's maybe go to 90. I don't know how far this thing can go up. And let's adjust it back maybe to 90 this way, so it's going to automatically do it. Yeah, there's quite a bit of room in there, so this telescope can get at pretty high angles. I might even cut a little more of it off, but let's go see it from the outside. Yep, you can see the observatory in a different angle now. That's really cool. I guess we could spy on Earth. I don't know if that's ever happened before. Actually, no, we have satellites in the air, so we're probably getting spied on constantly. But yeah, this is something you guys wanted to see. Like I said, we're going to have a lab on the other side, and then I'll finish the lobby area up once I find another airlock system, because the way I've been doing it uses way too many bearings. So I'm going to go back through, I'll check that one out that has the thruster and see if it works. But anyways, that's about it. Like I said, guys, if you want to comment and tell me what you want to see here on this middle part and any other areas, to be honest with you, I can take all sort of suggestions. You guys have been fantastic about this, and most of these are based off of you guys, except for maybe the Rover, which even then, I'm pretty sure somebody's requested a Rover. But yeah, I'll come out with some more attachments for the Rover, and we'll keep working on this. This is about a once a week thing. And then, of course, we're doing the theme park. Now, I do have a special secret project. I was thinking about unveiling it this weekend, but I'm going to hold off a bit because it's just not quite ready. But I think you guys are really going to like it. But yeah, we're going to have some more Scrap Mechanic. I think I'm going to do a viewer creation tomorrow. So we'll have Friday, Saturday Scrap Mechanic. And then on Sunday, I'm not really sure what we're going to play. You guys seem to like that Mad Games Tycoon, so we possibly will do another episode of that. We might be doing some Unturned. I'm not 100% sure. But anyways, like I said, comment below with any suggestions. And if you like to like and subscribe, everything helps my channel. And we will see you guys next time. Thank you.